Viewers, Israeli troops have entered Gaza's biggest hospital and were searching its rooms and basement, culminating a siege that caused global alarm over the fate of thousands of civilians trapped inside. Al-Shifa hospital in Gaza City has become the main target of the ground operation by Israeli forces, who say Hamas fighters located in the beating heart of their operations in a headquarter in tunnels beneath it, which Hamas denies. Now viewers, here are the pictures on your screens. There is the Al-Shifa hospital, which has become now ground zero in this particular operation. In the middle, viewers, are visuals from Rantisi hospital, where a tunnel network has been discovered. And then of course, viewers, you have the Quds hospital where RPG attacks have been staged. All of this proves that the Hamas has been using patients, has been using hospital establishments as areas from which to launch counter-offensives against Israel. So military facilities, and that in itself is a war crime, viewers, under the law. But let's open this up. Let's ask some basic and piercing questions, because if this is true, if there is evidence now, and it is pretty conclusive, that the Hamas was using patients as human shields, then viewers, will the Vokari stand up and protest this? That's the fundamental question. I want to first begin with Kalev Ben David, journalist live from Tel Aviv. Mr. David, what do you make of these discoveries, and does it for a moment provide you with some sort of a face saver?
Well, it's clear. You could see the reaction of international governments, the United States, Europe, Germany. By the way, countries that have been critical of Israeli policy in the past are supporting Israel's military operation now, are not objecting to it, because they have been given evidence that these hospitals are being used as military centers. And by the way, already in Shifa, there were reports this morning of Hamas terrorists firing from those grounds onto Israeli troops. So that battle has already begun. So there is the evidence, the international community.
So
I'm not talking about public opinion, but governments are supporting Israel now in its military operation, including in Shifa.
Palestine journalist and defense analyst Muhammad Najib from Ramallah. Mr. Najib, look, the proof is now there, staring back at us. All these hospitals serve as military bases for Hamas. Now, this is a war crime, really. You can't be hiding behind patients.
The hospitals in Gaza are run by the Palestinian Ministry of Health, not by Hamas militant group, as far as I know. And the Palestinian Ministry of Health called on the United Nations to form an investigative committee to come and check the hospitals. So I can't confirm what the Israelis claimed, either it's true or not. But as far as I know, that the Palestinian displaced from the north got shelters at some hospitals and some UN schools and centers, because they cannot find any homes to stay. So the sources were saying that there are 14,000 displaced from northern Gaza, took at Shifa hospitals and Rantisi hospitals there. And there are laws for the war. So Israel respected the laws, international laws, humanitarian laws, and that's the issue was. And also, even if that the Israeli believes there is weapons inside those hospitals, doesn't justify to stop the fuel and to this
so why?
The oxygen from the babies and the patients.
Okay, so you're saying that even if it's a weapons dump and Hamas is seeking refuge there, don't stop the oil and the other supplies, the electricity, etc. Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, you're an objective observer. What do you make of this? First of all, will the wokes come out now and protest this?
It's not a question of wokes. It's a question of what is right and what is wrong. So I have very quickly 2 points within a minute. Number one, this so-called Palestinian Ministry of Health, for your information, is run by Hamas. It's the same ministry that accused Israel of bombing the Baptist hospital and killing 500 innocents. The truth was that it was a Hamas rocket that accidentally landed at the car park of that hospital. None of those New York Times and all those Vapos and all those so-called wokes ever apologized for this fake news. And number two, I go for the Occam's razor. So here is an Occam's razor. There are three panelists here. One is a Palestinian, one is an Israeli from Tel Aviv, and one is an Indian. Simple question. Is Hamas a terror organization? I say yes. Please ask the other two gentlemen.
Okay. Mr. David.
Of course, Hamas is a terrorist organization. In
Okay.
fact, it's even
Mr.
recognized
Najib,
under law.
is it a
by
terror
various
organization? Is the Hamas a terror organization?
I asked to join to discuss the issues
There
of
we go.
the Shifa hospital.
It's so easy.
I am not a politician. I am not a
It's so
politician,
easy to
sir.
ask
I am a
questions.
political analyst. I am not a politician. You can ask this to Hamas, the Palestinian Authority. So it's not my job as a journalist and you
Yeah.
as an anchor to be independent. It's not to
Wow.
adopt the things. I'm not. They were talking about with the
say
politicians,
yes,
but I'm not
no.
a political.
Okay,
I
let
don't
me ask
represent
you this
Hamas. I
question.
don't represent the Palestinian Authority.
Let me ask you
I
this
talk
question.
about
Is
what
Israel
I
a
hear
terror
from
state,
sources
Mr.
there.
Najib? Is Israel a terror state?
Sir, we can't say that. I can't define. It's not my
Good.
job to define
At
who's
least you're
terror.
being, at
Neither
least you're
Israel
being,
nor Hamas or anybody.
at least in
I
your
respect myself
evasiveness,
as
you're being
independent
fair.
journalist.
Okay.
It's not
At least in your
journalist,
evasiveness,
it's
you're
not
being
your
fair.
job to ask such a question because
How? I'm
we are
asking a
not
simple
who define.
question. Is
The-
Hamas
the
a terror
United-
organization?
the United
Can't I ask
States-
that question?
Jews. They stuffed
It's not
babies.
me.
They beheaded
I am
babies.
not a politician to
They
decide
stuffed
who's
babies in an
terrorist or not
oven.
terrorist. Neither
And you
Israel
I mean,
nor
tomorrow
Hamas.
you say after 9/11, I
talking
shouldn't ask the
about-
question if Al-Qaeda is a terror
I would
organization.
say,
This
I
is
would say what I
absurd.
say. Most Western governments have officially recognized Hamas as
Okay.
a terrorist organization. The United Kingdom, which has been very critical of Israel in many regards, officially recognizes Hamas as a terrorist
Well, let me tell you,
organization.
viewers, it is alarming news that according to the IDF, they found evidence that under this hospital, there was enough evidence to conclude that the hostages were being held for some amount of time and have been removed. Now, viewers, if a hospital is being turned into a hostage station and a terror hub, then viewers, I leave it to you to decide whether it should be a military target or not. I leave it to you.
I just want
The right stand coming up, viewers.